G11 Sports presents St. Luke's Sports Medicine Game of the Week.
From Martz Hall in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, it is Schuylkill League Championship season as the boys basketball contest about to get underway. It is the Pottsville Crimson Tide as they play host to the Jim Thorpe Olympians. And for Jim Thorpe, a chance for here tonight to complete the sweep as the Lady Olympians defeated the Lady Spartans in the girls contest earlier tonight. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening. Alongside Ryan Caulfield, I'm Mike Ventola. And Ryan, well, for Jim Thorpe, obviously now a little bit of pressure. I mean, the ladies took care of business in Game 1, but for the Pottsville Crimson Tide, this is their home court. Now, they're missing a key player in Jace Carabello-Snoel, who is out due to injury. He was a big part of their offense. So when you kind of take a look at both teams, though, especially for Pottsville, missing that offensive presence, you wonder how are they going to be able to score some points here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Pottsville's no stranger to this atmosphere, though. It's their 13th straight league final, so they could be down 5 players, and we know that they're going to come out and compete. Jim Thorpe, on the other hand, this is their first time here since 2008, so they haven't been in this atmosphere before. I mean, if you look at the crowd, there's no seats to be around here, but Caden Herron's playing really well for them right now, and Jim Thorpe's on a tear, and Herron scored 22, 26, and 29 in their last 3 games, and Pottsville's going to have to try and find a way to shut them down as it was a 16-point win for Jim Thorpe the last time they met up in Thorpe.
You know, for the Crimson Tide, they can play some good defense, and this is a team, as Ryan just talked about, they've been in this scenario before. I mean, you can look around the gym and you just see how many already championships they've won, not on the other side of the court here to this point. So, but Jim Thorpe, they are the hot hand. It's going to be intriguing to see, can they be cooled off here tonight? So, but as we continue to talk about both of these teams, and as you look up and down, you talked about it already, Caden Herron has been the bright spot for Jim Thorpe. On the other hand, Darren Yost and Rafe DiCello, those two have been a nice 1-2 punch since Jace Carabello-Snoel has been out due to injury. Absolutely.
Herron is a flash from the past a little bit. He loves the mid-range jumper, and you don't see that too often, especially even in high school basketball. But I think that your key to your game here is going to be the matchup between Darren Yost and Daryl Fisher. They're both on-ball defenders. They'll be guarding each other on the ball, and it's going to be big to see if foul trouble affects either of them, as they both bring the intensity and really get their teams going, as these are the best 2 defensive teams in the Schuylkill League statistically and to the eye.
You know, for Jason McElmoyle, he has done a great job coaching this Jim Thorpe program, but you know, for Jake Wartell, in just his second year as a head coach at Pottsville, but he's been around the Pottsville program for a number of years, so he's had that experience already being here. So for head coach Jason McElmoyle, who is in his 16th year with the program, 8th as a head coach, sometimes it's going to be a little bit new venture here for the head coach, so you wonder how it falls on him, whereas Jake Wartell, he's been here already.
Absolutely. You're going to see a first-time head coach winner of the Schuylkill League Championship here. Pottsville's got a little bit of a revenge game going here. I mean, they've won 5 of the last 7 championships. Their only losses coming in 2017 to Blue Mountain and last year to eventual 1A state champion Nativity BVM. But Coach Wartell is looking for his Schuylkill League title, but if you have been a fan of the Schuylkill League in the past, nothing's really changed from the reigns of Dave Blaney. Pottsville's going to be up in your face on defense in the passing lanes, and they're going to try and force you into turnovers, and then just when you think you have a chance, they're going to stick a couple threes and try and grow their lead in a 5-0, 6-0 spurt just like that. So Jim Thorpe's going to have to try and shut down those spurts, try and keep the crowd out of the game as much as possible and act like they've been here before.
One final thought before we step aside, before we get close to the national anthem and everything else that takes place here tonight, the crowd factor. And in Game 1 between the Spartans and the Olympians, it was loud. We'd have to think the Crimson Tide faithful here are going to want to be a little extra loud, knowing that the Olympians feel like they're on the verge of a potential sweep here tonight.
Absolutely. Jim Thorpe's got a lot of fans up there, and believe it or not, some of the North Schuylkill folk have stayed around to join the Jim Thorpe fan section, and Pottsville's got the home court advantage here, so I'm expecting some back and forth banter between both student sections. And that's an interesting thing about Martz Hall is right behind the hoop is both student sections, so it's almost like a collegiate atmosphere where you have people waving their hands in your face right as you're trying to shoot a foul shot. And from prior experience from playing here, I got to play in I got to be here in leagues twice, made it to the championship once and lost in the semifinal once, and it's pretty humbling coming in front of all these fans and trying to play. It's all hand signals, no call-outs. It's a very tough atmosphere to play in, but one of the most fun atmospheres in the state.
Well, Ryan, you know firsthand, this is right in your backyard here at Martz Hall. So with that, we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll get you starting lineups. We'll get you keys to the game. All that more comes your way next year on D11 Sports.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Welcome you back here inside Martz Hall. And before we continue along, let's send it on down to our sideline reporters, Casey Wallach and Jacob Parker.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jacob Parker of Weatherly. I talked to head coach for Jim Thorpe, Jason McElmoyle. He told me he's concerned with Pottsville playing at home tonight. It's a league game, and he told me he wants to put pressure on Pottsville and push them out of their comfort zone. And Jacob, you talked to Pottsville coach Jake Wartella. What did he have to tell you?
You know, he said that they're going to have to take care of the ball and hustle tonight. He said that Jim Thorpe's a really good team and they're hot. They have to do the little things to win.
Thanks, Jacob. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Casey Wallace and Jacob Porter, our student reporters. Let's take a look now at the starting lineups as we'll get an opportunity to meet both Jim Thorpe and Pottsville. So up and down first for the visitors in Jim Thorpe, Caden Herron, David Richards, Colby McHugh, Daryl Fisher, and Bryson Haight. As you heard Ryan talk about Caden Herron, keep an eye on him, as well as Daryl Fisher, two very good players. On the other side for Pottsville, Rylan Matlock gets the start. Darren Yost, Rafe DiCello, Chase Fenstermarker, and Mike Sakina, a very formidable starting five. So as right now the Olympians are being introduced, the Crimson Tide are about to be introduced here momentarily. So Ryan, take us through the keys to the game. What are both coaches looking to bring home here tonight?
Jim Thorpe's really trying to dictate the tempo and play at their style of game. They're going to try and control the game, their offensive presence, and try and limit turnovers. And they're going to try and force Pottsville into contested shots. You'll see Pottsville, their offense is built around a very Villanova-esque style, getting 2 feet in the paint, looking for backdoor cuts and for kickouts on three. And for Pottsville, they need to limit their own turnovers. That killed them their last time that they played up at Jim Thorpe, and they're just trying to play a solid game overall, despite getting one of their best players and a shoe-in for first-team all-area, Jace Carabello-Snow, injured at the end of the season.
I like how you dropped in the Villanova references. It have to mean that, you know, that because you get a front-row view to Villanova basketball. So
absolutely, I know. Get to see that every single day back down in Villanova. So Pottsville and Villanova are very similar in the ways that they run their offensive style. Very patient and potent.
Jay Wright would be very proud of you, my friend. So, well, at this point, Ryan, it's Pottsville. They want to get the job done here at home, you know. But for the Olympians, they feel like it's their year now. They've been riding the hot hand. They've been playing outstanding basketball as of late. So, you almost wonder, just simply winning the first tip, controlling the tempo. Who can control the tempo also, too, can help control the movement of how this game starts here in the early quarters. It will be Mike Sakina and Bryson Haight, and the ball just jetpacks out out of play, and Pottsville will start with possession.
Yeah, that was interesting to see how Bryson Haight matches up because Pottsville does not have a true big man. So he's going to be forced to guard Sakina, who honestly plays more of a shooting guard, small forward type of role as he gets the ball here right away.
There, Sakina. And you can just see this man-to-man defense by the Olympians. They have the size, they have the height advantage, and a travel there by Darren Yost. And Darren Yost at times is like a free spirit out there, and the Olympians, they want to control him as much as they can.
I have a feeling Yost is going to have a little bit of something to say. Last game he was shut out the entire game. He was really struggling, nothing falling from three, but he'll pick it up on defense no matter what happens.
Daryl Fisher trying to take it to the rack. Nothing there on a rebound by Sakina. Pottsville wanting to go on tempo, out and over towards Matlock. To the corner here. It's Yost, in and out, no good. Trying to get the rebound to it is Sakina, able to get to it, and a takeaway here by the Olympians. And Waggett giving it to the Crimson Tide. Knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Olympians basketball.
A lot of up and down right here, back and forth. A little bit of nerves, you could tell, a minute into the game, and it's been multiple possessions back and forth, but neither team really looking to find their stride just yet.
Nice takeaway here by Yost. Yost now going through three defenders, and he gets fouled.
That's the first of Yost's 4 steals that he averages a game. He's very pesky up top, and it's really tough to blow by him.
So Yost now to the free throw line. He's above 70% on the season. A really good free throw shooter, but he misses his first. It's that championship game. Sometimes, though, you just want to see the ball go through the hoop. And a miss there, getting the rebound, was Bryson Haight, the 6'5" senior center. And a reach-in foul.
Very interested to see in these first 2 minutes to see how the officials would be calling this game because Pottsville really likes to play hard defense and be up in your face and reach in and try and get steals. And it's going to be interesting to see how both teams get calls.
They get Fenstermacher on the foul. Jump shot, and it's good for Caden Heron.
Very good from the mid-range, Heron. Very good. He elevates well, releases at the top of his shot, and follows through.
So Rafe DiCello now playing the point. Now the Olympians, they're not afraid to play that man-to-man defense. Already a couple minutes in. Up top, look for three. Sakina, no good. Rebound by Heron. And a takeaway there by Sakina. Reading that pass like a corner, picking off a quarterback. Up and over with the right hand, and that's Darren Yost basketball.
Absolutely. He looks to do that, try and find his little way through. Only 5'8", Yost, but he doesn't play like it. He plays a lot bigger than he is.
Trying to go for the steal, and it's there. Yost with the takeaway from Fisher. Yost can't get it to drop. And now here come the Olympians. Pass out of bounds. That intensity is through the roof right now. As the Olympians, they got to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, both teams very anxious right now. You don't really see too many missed layups or turnovers from both of these teams, but definitely the intensity of this atmosphere is getting into their heads.
Matlock. Dribbling with it in and around and getting fouled hard was Fenstermacher as Fenstermacher was going for the layup. And Ryan, they're going to call that foul, by the way, on Bryson Haight. That's his first.
Yeah, Haight, see if he stays in here for a while because they have another 6'5" center coming in right behind him, Noah Roshak. A lot of times they don't like to play them together at the same time. They kind of interchange for each other, and it'll be interesting to see if Haight picks up another foul, what they do with that.
So for Fenstermacher, able to hit a free throw. It is 3-2 now. Pottsville leading Jim Thorpe. And hitting the second free throw. Fenstermacher, a 60% free throw shooter. Here now is Fisher. Colby McHugh, and he gets called with a travel. And the senior guard committing a turnover.
Jim Thorpe's just got to get into their sets here. To calm down, get into their sets, get the ball in Heron's hand, and slow the pace down.
So now Yost. You see some pressure by the Olympians. Needing a little help here. Able to flow it over to the corner. A look for three. Yes! Ryan Matlock.
Matlock's really stepped into his role well. He's playing with a lot of confidence now that he's in the starting role in place of Snow.
A 7-2 lead here for the Crimson Tide. And a jump ball, and it will still stay for the Olympians as Nick Chavinsky, usually the first player off the bench. That is true. He will step in, a junior.
Knockdown shooter, Chavinsky. You don't want to let him get hot.
And a foul. And they're going to call that foul on Chavinsky. And oddly enough, head coach Jason McElmore right in front of us was yelling timeout, but the officials didn't hear it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out better in your favor there when the officials don't hear the timeout call.
So they will call the foul there on Chavinsky. That's his first. Both teams with 2 team fouls. Up top, NBA range. Look for 3 there. Missed by Fisher. And a rebound first by Sakina. And for Pottsville, they have a chance here to really extend an early lead. Up top. The Olympians trying to play some good defense, but a reach-in foul by Caden Herron. And it just seems like right now, Ryan, that Pottsville's got everything working in their corner here right now. They're shooting more efficiently, playing better defense. And right now for Jim Thorpe, they've got nothing going for them right now.
This is a huge 3 minutes for Jim Thorpe. They can't let this get out of hand early here and go down by double digits or so. They got to keep this within 6 or so and going into the second quarter and try and get some momentum going into the second quarter and then into halftime.
If you're Pottsville, though, you want to keep going here. Nice bounce pass up and over, not able to connect. There was DiCello.
Believe it or not, Pottsville's missed a couple of bunnies here.
Pick up here now by Yost. Yost, one-on-one, gets under, through, misses the layup, and a foul as crashing hard to the floor was Chavinsky. And they're going to call that foul on Caden Herron, and that's already his second foul.
That's going to be a huge story in this game right there. That's 2 quick fouls on Herron with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Be interesting to see what Coach McElmoyle does here, if he lets him ride or sits him down for a little bit.
Now, Jake Wartella calling a 30-second timeout. His team, they have the basketball, just trying to draw up a good offensive play here.
Absolutely. A lot of times you'll see Pottsville out of bounds here. They'll either run one of 2 plays. It's the same setup. They'll either screen in for the shooter coming in bounds, or Sakina will set a screen for somebody cutting to the basket like DiCello. DiCello's very good at backdoor cutting, as we just saw there, but couldn't finish. But he really likes to have Yost get in the lane and backdoor cut, and he can sky. He's very athletic, great wide receiver and cornerback in football, and a great basketball player. He's really going to try and look to attack. His game is a lot around the hoop.
Coach McElmoyle going with a substitution. Noah Rosahack is now in a 6'5" sophomore center, trying to give Bryson Height a chance to recollect himself. Up top, look for 3, short, as Rosahack able to get the rebound. Here is Herron. Herron off balance, trying to use the backboard, no good. Rebound by DiCello. Trying to go with a bounce pass, taken away here by Herron.
There's the athleticism of Herron on display there as Yost gets another steal.
He is like a pest as Yost answers with the layup. 4 points for Darren Yost as Pottsville leads Jim Thorpe 9-2. Richards has been quiet. Here's Rosahack. Now Colby McHugh. Richards. Rosahack gets an open look, and Rosahack able to get his first 2 points.
That was a great possession there from Jim Thorpe, as I think that was their longest possession so far. They've really been sped up so far, and that was a really good possession for them to settle down, pound it inside, and for an easy deuce.
Yeah, they definitely needed those 2 points. Unable to be afraid, though, was DiCello, but he gets called with the charge. It's back to Jim Thorpe basketball.
Definitely on the scouting report there on that backdoor cut. The weak side help shifted over and took the charge. That was definitely on film. I don't know if they watch a lot of film, but for sure from their 2 previous games against Pottsville, they looked at that.
Now, interestingly here enough, Ryan, Coach McElmoyle can go with the 2 big guys, Rosahack and Height, both on the floor.
Yeah, for them, it provides a big mismatch scenario for Pottsville.
And if you're Bryson Height, hard to commit a travel there, but he does.
Now it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Pottsville does against this, because you have Noah Roshak guarding Nick Shavinsky in the corner, and Shavinsky's a shooter, so you're going to draw one of the big guys outside.
The speed by the Olympians, though, is very much front and center. Pottsville, though, very thorough in how they go about their business. And a walk, though. Darren Yost, though, he was trying to sell it.
Good call from the officials there. He took one extra step as he was trying to get through there. I thought it was going to be close to a 5-second call as he was closely guarded.
Rylan Matlock is back into the game. And he checks in for Darren Yost. But for Jim Thorpe, right now, Caden Heron has been unable to get going. Same with Darrell Fisher, as Pottsville's really taking advantage of the lack of offense here by Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe needs a good possession here with Yost out of the game.
Over a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Pottsville leads Jim Thorpe 9-4. Pull-up jumper there is Heron. Off the backboard, no good. Getting the rebound was Height. And now they're going to call a foul. Coach Wartella not happy with the call, and they're going to call the foul, by the way, on Fenstermacher.
Height only a 35% foul shooter here, though, so might not be the worst foul in the world, but.
So they were looking to bring in TJ Allen, but he cannot check in for Fenstermacher just yet. So as you talked about, Height not as strong as a free throw shooter, and shows right there.
A lot of big guys have to put a lot of time into that because they're not used to shooting from far out. He likes to do his work right around the block, and even though it's free and uncontested, it's difficult to be 6'5", 6'6", and be able to do this.
And when you have that fan base looking right at you, doesn't get easy.
No, not at all.
Going 0 for 2 on the free throws. Yost up and high, swinging it around. DiCello. Now Matlock. 40-plus seconds. Coach Wartella screaming, keep it moving. They like that up-tempo. Yost needs a little help. Good bounce pass. Ball pops up into the air. Fisher comes down with it.
This is their game, Jim Thorpe.
And a foul call. Offensive foul.
That's a close one there. I did not see it that way, but that was a close one. That could be a big play, as that ball went through the hoop as well. That would have been a chance for another one from Fisher there.
So now with a little over 25 seconds or so, if you're Pottsville, do you look to try to take for one last shot here of the opening quarter? Of course, unless you get an open lane for a layup.
Trust me, Pottsville's waiting for this last shot. They're going to set up a play. It's either going to be a backdoor cut or a flare screen for a three. You're going to see it right here.
And folks, I would not bet against Ryan. Knows Pottsville as well as anybody. Good jump shot. Missed there by DiCello.
He had Shavinsky set up in the corner.
Here's Fisher. Fisher puts it up. Off the backboard. Almost goes in. Darrell Fisher almost with a three-point basket from Mercury.
Funny story. Actually, last time these two teams played, at the end of the third quarter, similar situation. Darren Yost puts up a three. Air balls. Fisher gets the ball off the rebound, and about 90 out of 94 feet, takes a running baseball, football throw, and banks in a 3 from three-quarter court.
So what's the story? The theme of the story there, folks? Keep an eye on Fisher late into the game. We'll step aside when we come back. Second quarter comes your way next here on D11 Sports.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
If you are a student from any District 11 school and are interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to Al or Dave at d11sports.com. Ryan Caulfield to my left. I'm Mike Ventola as Pottsville leads Jim Thorpe 9-4 after one quarter of play here in the Schuylkill League Championship. There is Darren Yost up and over, gets the layup to fall.
Good take there from Yost.
He leads the way with 6 points for both teams. Fisher pulls up, in and out, no good. Trying to get the rebound, though, was Rosahak. And there was a foul, and they're going to call that, I believe, on Fenstermacher.
His third foul already, so we're going to see a lot of bench presence here from Pottsville. TJ Allen back into the ball game.
Now, how big of a loss could that potentially be for Pottsville?
Fenstermacher is a very pesky defender. You won't see him show up in the stat sheet too much with points, but he'll affect you very much from on the defensive perspective, and he'll be there. Pottsville has a niche for having a player just like that. As Matlock scores a bucket, they always have somebody not other than the star step up in the big game in the past couple of years, and don't be surprised to see if it's somebody like a Matlock or a Fenstermacher in this type of game.
So right now, Pottsville with a 9-point lead. Give inside. Fisher unable to get it to fall. Rebound by Allen. Here is Yost. Into the corner. DiCello up into the glass. Not there. Rosahak tips it over to Fisher.
Numbers up the floor here if they want it.
And Fisher, rather, just going to go with a conservative approach. Dribbles in and around. Fadeaway jumper off the backboard, not good. And that was not a good sequence there by Jim Thorpe.
No, it looked like he got away with a double dribble as well.
And Pottsville with a chance to really separate themselves. They can make this a double-digit lead on this possession. Yost through two defenders. He's got 8 points.
It's a big possession for Jim Thorpe. They need to get Heron and Fisher going here and really try and put a stop to this Pottsville run.
Trying to go for the steal there was Matlock. Here is Heron. Jumper. Off the rim, no good. And a foul. Looks like they're going to call that on Rosahak. And rather they're going to call that on Bryson Height. And that's his second foul.
So you have Haight with 2 and Heron with 2, both on the floor as Fisher exits the game.
Andrew Warner, now a junior guard, comes in. Averages about 3 points per game.
Yeah, you won't see Jim Thorpe go too deep off the bench here, about 6 or 7 deep.
And right now you got to think for Coach McElmoyle, the hamster wheel is turning through that mind of his. How can he get his team right? Three-pointer up top, nothing good. And getting the rebound there is Height. Here is Heron now in transition.
That's his game right there. Transition ball.
Count it. He'll go to the line and shoot one. So take a look at it here. And you described it perfectly, Ryan. Able to get around the defenders, and now a chance to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Great job boxing out the big guy.
Absolutely.
DiCello, and Rosahak gets the rebound.
DeSello's had a bunch of looks at the rim already, but hasn't been able to convert.
Here is Warner. A 30-second timeout by head coach Jason McElmoyle, and I'm sure he's just not only disgusted with the play right now, but just trying to get his team back into motion here as Pottsville, stingy defense here by the Crimson Tide.
Yep, not a surprise to too many people watching, I'm sure, as Pottsville prides themselves on defense. They have under Coach Mulaney, and it really hasn't changed under Coach Wartella. Yost is a perfect example of their on-ball defender and really sets up the passing lanes to be deflected by the other players on the team.
Remember, the Pottsville Crimson Tide, they have won the Schuylkill League Championship 5 of the last 7 years. They lost here at home to Nativity a year ago. That Nativity team was very good last season.
Extremely good team who a lot of people thought it was going to be a rematch this year, but Shenandoah Valley had something to say about that. And the little public school that could beat Nativity on their home floor and in a playoff game.
And it looks like a missed shot there. Second shot missed, and the ball pops out. Trying to keep it in was Warner, but it goes right into the hands of Sakina. Here is Yost. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Yost up, nothing there, and a hard foul by TJ Allen.
I believe that'll be the one-and-one situation here.
Yes. 7th team foul for the Crimson Tide, so shooting 1-and-1, it will be Colby McHugh, who is a 58% free throw shooter.
Yep, believe it or not, he is the 3rd best free throw shooter on the team behind Caden Heron and David Richards. So we'll see what McHugh's got to do in this game so far. Hasn't impacted too much already, but.
So McHugh makes his first.
Jim Thorpe really needed that.
And coming back in will be Darrell Fisher as McHugh will take a seat. So Kindo's free throws open things up for the Olympians. The Crimson Tide just rolling here in the first half.
Believe it or not, Jim Thorpe, though, they've had some lucky breaks here. Pottsville's had a lot of looks at the hoop and haven't been able to convert. So if they could keep this game within reason for a while and they get hot, look out.
From the corner, too strong, punched there by DeSello. Up top, taken away there by Heron. Heron trying to get around Yost. And
that should have been a good basket.
And it should have been, as the basket was claimed. Now they're calling jump ball.
That definitely should have been a goaltend there.
Should have been goaltending the entire way.
Looks like Heron's going to have to exit the ball game here. I think he has a little bit of blood either on his jersey or on his wrist.
So, yeah, right now, Caden Heron is off on the side, getting attended to.
That could have even been a lot worse, as I think it was Matlock came up and tried to block it, but he hit the rim, or not hit the rim, he hit the net, which affected the rim and really put Heron's shot off. It could have been either a goaltender, or if the refs really deemed it was worse, it probably could have been a technical even.
So a unfortunate situation here for the Olympians. Good give inside. Height up top, cannot connect. And that has got to be so frustrating now for the big guy, as he had got as clean as an open look as he's had all night and cannot hit the layup.
I thought he was going to go straight up over the rim and either dunk it or lay it up right over, but
McHugh, he gets fouled. And that foul is committed by Chavinsky. And that is going to be his second personal foul. And back to the free throw line is going to be Colby McHugh.
Really giving them a spark here in the second quarter, going to the hole. We haven't seen that much out of Jim Thorpe so far. They've been settling.
Missing that first free throw as Noah Rosahack comes in.
Coach McElmoyle is arguing the same thing we just talked about grabbing the rim down there.
It's the second. So Jim Thorpe inching their way back, still trailing by 6 points.
Last time these two teams met in Jim Thorpe, the Olympians put up over 60 points.
Yost for a long three and good. Darren Yost from downtown.
He's got 11 as he's outscoring Jim Thorpe as a whole right now.
Inside as Fisher gets fouled. And that foul is going to be committed by Yost. But right now the 11 points for Yost has been the difference here in this first half. Darrell Fisher to the free throw line. Just a little bit above 50% as a free throw shooter. Hits the first. And you said it, Ryan. Free throws right now are helping Jim Thorpe, or at least staying in this game. They have been extremely inefficient from the field.
Yeah, not only are they getting some free points at the foul line here, it's also getting them in getting Pottsville in foul trouble, as they can't go too deep into their bench here. They go about 7 deep, and if you could get 2 or 3 guys into foul trouble, your Pottsville will be playing a little short-handed.
A little over 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Coming down with it, Shavinsky. Now Yost, high and above over to Sakina.
Jim Thorpe switched into zone here. A little 1-2-2 zone.
Yost with 5 players around him. Over to DeCello. Give over here to Matlock. Good! Rylan Matlock hits for 3.
There it was. DeCello gets into the paint, jump stops, kicks out for a 3.
An 11-point lead now for the home team. Off the hands of Rosa Hackett. It just seems like right now the attention span for the Olympians is not good, as head coach Jake Wartella calls a full timeout.
This is dangerous waters here for this game for the Olympians. They got to try and keep this under a 10-point game going into halftime and try and limit the momentum from the Tide, because not only is the game on their side, but they have the floor. They're used to this floor. They're used to the gym, and there's a black hole behind the hoop that Jim Thorpe's shooting at right now that is screaming in the timeout that Jim Thorpe's also going to have to deal with and try and fight when they're coming back.
I'm sitting right next to you, Ryan, and good thing we're sitting close, because the Pottsville fan base is loud right now, and it's been a little quiet from Jim Thorpe's fan base. They were loud in game 1, the Lady Olympians defeating the Lady Spartans. You know, and Jim Thorpe, they want to celebrate both teams here tonight. So, but like you said, Jim Thorpe's got a lot of work to do. And it just seems like right now they have not been able to find their groove offensively. It's almost like they're moving too fast. They almost need to slow things down a little bit.
That's the thing Pottsville tries to get you to do, is speed you up, especially at Marks Hall. This is, if you're looking at it from above and on the stream, you can see how, what my go-to tell is from half court to the three-point line, see how far it is there. This court is a lot bigger than most courts and a lot longer, so you're traveling an extra 10 feet up and down the floor, so it really tires you out.
So it looks like there's going to be a foul, and it's going to go against Andrew Warner. And for Warner, that is his first personal foul. 7 fouls now, so both teams are in the bonus. TJ Allen checks in for Mike Sakina, and the dangerous Darren Yost is at the free throw line. He has been lethal all night. Hits them both. 13 points. 23-10.
Jim Thorpe's going to try and find somebody else to go to here with a Heron off the floor and Haight off the floor.
Rosahack dribbles, puts it up. Miss there. Bouncing around, Rosahack gets it up and through and gets it to fall. No, Rosenhack now with 4 points.
the big lefty.
Makes it 11-point difference. Aggressive defense here by the Olympians. Yost wanted baseline, finally gets there, needs help. DeCello up top for three, missed there. Rozak gets the rebound and will deliver it over to Fisher. And Fisher gets fouled by Yost.
He'll get 2 at the line here as well.
And that's Yost's second foul. And we'll see Fisher here, who only has 1 point. He's only hit 1 free throw. Someone who's averaging 13 points per game has not yet been able to connect on a field goal, and he misses another free throw.
Yeah, Fisher's really got to calm down. He's a very fast player, and he really likes to get in transition and get to the hoop. And that was a little glimpse at it there that you saw him trying to get to the hole, but that's his game, and he's got to get into that and get into a fluid motion here as he misses both. But they get the offensive rebound.
Yeah, rebound by Richards, up for three, in and out, no good. Rosahack gets it himself, and a nice job with a takeaway there by Mike Sakina.
Great block there from Sakina.
.40 seconds and counting. Pottsville right now taking their time. They have an 11-point lead. Jim Thorpe would love to cause a turnover here and get a quick bucket before the end of the first half.
Yeah, a nice steal and a layup would get a little bit of momentum going into half and cut the deficit to single digits.
But Yost right now beautifully just milking the clock. Over to DeCello. 8 seconds. DeCello puts it up with the left hand. Good! Rafe DeCello. A Hail Mary type throw. Almost even hitting the backboard. Falls. And you take a look here at the final play. Nice job by DeCello. He gets up towards the hoop. 25-12. Pottsville leads Jim Thorpe heading into halftime. And we're going to hear from head coach Jake Wartella in just a moment. Before we do so, Ryan, what'd you think of that first half? Give us your thoughts.
That bucket at the end of the first half there, Pottsville ran 45 seconds off the clock and ran that isolation to DeCello to his left hand. I know a lot of Schuylkill County basketball fans, they used to run that play to the opposite side for Mason Barnes a lot. And 2 years ago, and the past 2, 3, 4 years, they would really isolate it to one side as DeCello got the ball ripped through to his left and put it up for 2 to go up by 13 going into half.
So we were unable to get head coach Jake Wartella as he had to run into the locker room. So what we'll do here is we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be able to talk more here throughout halftime right after this here on D11 Sports.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
Welcome back here inside Martz Hall as the Crimson Tide, they lead the Olympians 25-12 alongside Ryan Caulfield, Mike Ventola with you. DM2 Security is a locally owned and operated security company presently serving most of all of Pennsylvania. They provide all phases of security services for your home and business. They offer free estimates and have very competitive pricing and superior customer service. Let DM2 Security start protecting you today. Check them out on the web at www.dm2security.com. It's a small price to pay for your peace of mind. Well, before we get into the X's and O's of what took place during halftime, why don't we take a look at kind of what happened throughout the season as we take a look at the standings. So Ryan and I will be able to take you through the Schuylkill League standings. So Ryan, you look at Division 1, obviously Pottsville, great year, 13-1, Jim Thorpe 10-4, but you look at Tri-Valley in Division 2, Nativity in Division 3, along with Shenandoah Valley. You had some really good teams at the top of these divisions, but we're fortunate enough here tonight, two of the best in Division 1 going toe-to-toe here tonight.
Absolutely. Well, going into the second half of the season in Division 1, Blue Mountain, North Schuylkill, and Jim Thorpe were even, and it came down to the last couple games of the season. And on paper, if you looked at it, North Schuylkill probably had the easiest path through as they had the win over. Their only losses were twice to Blue Mountain and twice to Pottsville, and they had a win over Jim Thorpe earlier in the year. Jim Thorpe, on the other hand, had left on their schedule. They still had Panther Valley, Blue Mountain at Blue Mountain, North Schuylkill at North Schuylkill, and Pottsville at home. And a lot of people were shooing in the fact that Jim Thorpe was going to lose to Pottsville at home because Pottsville is so dominant, only lost once in the league in the past 3 years, and they really took that to heart and ended up beating Pottsville on their home floor to knock Blue Mountain out of the picture and come down to a winner-take-all game at North Schuylkill, and they blew North Schuylkill out of the water and have really been on a tear since then.
Well, certainly it's what's been a very good season in Schuylkill League basketball play, but here tonight, I mean, to no surprise, seeing two good teams go toe-to-toe, but Darren Yost has certainly been the story as he has 13 points. He has 13 of the 25 by Pottsville, and on the other side, both Noah Rosahack and Caden Heron each with 4 points. So the story for Pottsville is Yost doing a great job. Pottsville playing that stingy defense Crimson Tide fans know all about, but on the other side, Jim Thorpe's offense has not looked good whatsoever.
No, they've had a lot of turnovers already so far, and even when they're not turning the ball over, they're kind of getting forced into some tough shots, some tough pull-up jumpers, and their success so far has come when they've driven to the basket. I mean, McHugh's gone to the line, Height's gone to the line, even Fisher's been in the line for 4 attempts, and let's see what Jim Thorpe has team right now. They have 4 made shots out of 9, so they're 4 for 9. They're under 50%. Put those 5 points back up on the board, and it's an 8-point game, and a lot different ball game here.
Well, you're right. The free throws for Jim Thorpe, they have got to improve. And, you look at for Pottsville, though, they just want to keep this momentum going. They're sitting there, they got to be thinking, everyone talked about Jim Thorpe coming into town here tonight, the hottest team in Schuylkill League, how they've been able to put themselves in position here tonight. But Pottsville's kind of telling the viewers and telling everybody in attendance, hey, we've been state champs for a reason. We've been Schuylkill League champions 5 of the last 7 years. We've been in this championship game over the last 7 or 8 years in a row. So it's just them right now kind of proving to everybody that the bigger, stronger team that appears to be in the Olympians aren't living up to that mantra right now.
Yeah, no matter what happened coming into this game, Pottsville had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, which is a kind of an oxymoron. But if you think about it, they got beat last year on their home floor for the league championship. They lost to Jim Thorpe last time they played at Jim Thorpe, and they really weren't expecting to lose that league championship last year, and these seniors have been a very influential part of this program between Yost, Sakina, Snow, and DeCello, and they're looking to go out on top in the league.
Well, we're going to step aside here one final time before the start of the second half. When we come back, we'll have second half action between Pottsville and Jim Thorpe right here on D11 Sports.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Back here inside Martz Hall, a packed Martz Hall. Nice to see a packed place here after everything that's gone on in the past 2 years. He's Ryan Caulfield, I'm Mike Ventola. So you see the score, Pottsville leading Jim Thorpe 25-12. But once again, congratulations to the Lady Olympians with a victory over the Lady Spartans in Game 1. And Ryan, I must say, your mom did a great job on the broadcast, and good job by you so far. So it's been a fun night here so far, just not only seeing great girls basketball, but now seeing some really good boys basketball.
Absolutely. This is, in my opinion, one of the best atmospheres in the state, and it's kind of a nice moment for this county. It really brings everybody together. It's a lot of times now at the end of the season, nobody else is really playing, so you see people from all over the schools. If you look like next to the student sections, those are all students from all other schools that are coming to see teams they've played, friends, enemies for all we know, and they just really, everybody kind of bonds together to go watch some good basketball to see who has the bragging lights in the Schuylkill League.
I tell you, as threatening as it is to look up, but as you could see across the way, just even for the folks that are fortunate enough to seated below the upper deck, let's call it, they're right on top of you. It doesn't get any easier. No matter where you look in this gym, someone is staring at you just inches away.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. You have to try and not think about anything and think about the court only, because if you start thinking about everything else, then good luck.
Well, you would have to think it's important for the Olympians to open up here with some scoring, but it'll be the Crimson Tide that will open up with possession as we are officially underway here for the second half.
Yeah, these first 3 to 4 minutes are going to dictate how the rest of this game is going to be played.
So, Yost and company. As the Crimson Tide, they are a half away from becoming Schuylkill League champion since 2020. Right now, Yost and the Crimson Tide, a patient approach. Good give inside to DeCello. Up and over, good.
Once again, going to bring back the Villanova reference. Rafe DeCello looked a lot like Colin Gillespie there as a smaller guard in the post, and Yost found him for the post-up. Saw the mismatch and took advantage of it.
Reach in. As Sakina thought he almost had a takeaway. By the way, good Villanova reference, by the way. Up and over, nothing there. Rebound by Matlock.
Caden Heron starting on the bench this half, but already at the table.
Up and over to the corner, short. Ball is loose, picked up here by Fisher. Ken Fisher now, calmly get a good look. Up top, look for three, bang!
Richards is a big 3-and-D type of guy, and he really needs to get going for them as he's one of their bigger three-point threats.
That was a much-needed field goal, the first three-pointer made by Jim Thorpe. Here is Matlock. Answers with a tray of his own.
6 for Matlock, 3 threes. Or 9, sorry, 3 threes for Matlock.
He's been impressive. A 15-point lead.
as I said earlier, everybody's going to expect Yost and DeCello to do the work, but they seem to always have somebody step up in the big time.
McHugh too strong, and a foul going to be charged to Noah Rosahack. So right now, Pottsville, you'd have to think here, Ryan, for them just simply is don't commit mistakes, don't give extra possessions here to the Olympians.
Yeah, they're just going to try and play their type of ball game here.
And a foul. And that's going to be charged to Daryl Fisher. That's his second personal foul.
Jim Thorpe coaching staff was a little upset at that call.
Into the corner.
Long possession here for the Tide. And they seem completely fine with that.
Just milking clock. Under 5 minutes remaining already here in the third quarter.
They're trying to get their best shot.
They, as you've talked about, trying to play Pottsville-style basketball here. And just outstanding.
You're going to see a diagonal screen here and a screen up for a shooter. So look to see which one it is that they hit.
If you're the Olympians, though, how do you stay, I guess, as composed? They have not overreached.
There's Sakina.
Missed there, but that is normally a Sakina shot right there.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I've heard that play call way too many times to not know what it is.
Love it.
Ooh.
Unorthodox. It's one thing to take a three-point shot, but you had an opportunity to maybe see what else you had amongst your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was too terrible of a shot immediately. He looked like he was looking to draw a foul, too, and it looked like he got hit in the face. I don't know if it was either tipped or he was definitely hit, but no foul call, no tip call, so back to Pottsville ball.
Not much has fallen into the hoop, but Pottsville's magnificently just eating up clock. And the Olympians, though, they're going to have to try to get a little bit more aggressive here defensively. DeCello. Over to Sakina. In and around, weaving, zigging, zagging. Nice two-pointer there for Sakina.
Good take from him. You have to respect his outside game.
And it's going to be a full timeout here for Jason McElmore. So McElmoyle very much disappointed with his team here to this point, trailing by 17 points.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Coach McElmoyle in this timeout, I'm just trying to do it piece by piece. You're going little runs, try and go on like a little 5-0 run here, try and get some momentum a little bit, and try and get this into about 10 or single digits by the end of the third quarter here, or else Pottsville's looking pretty much on their way to yet another Schuylkill League title, unless barring a miracle comeback here from Jim Thorpe, which they definitely can put together. I mean, they only have 15 points so far. I've seen them put up 65 before, and they could really get into that as long as Heron and Fisher are clicking, but so far Pottsville's really tried to take that away.
And right now, Jake Wartella and his Crimson Tide are just going about their business and not doing anything differently that they haven't done to this point. They've stayed within their game plan, and it's worked out well to their advantage. But, I mean, Jim Thorpe's been ice cold shooting the basketball here tonight. And it just seems like right now that any time, whether it's Fisher or anybody just trying to drive towards the hoop line, Pottsville does a great job of closing up that gap and not allowing any avenue towards the rack.
Nope, they're really are up in your face a lot and try to take away the passing lane. And then when you kick, they try and play you one-on-one and really use their chest to get into you and play you straight up defense.
Now committing the foul, Yost, but still, you see here Fisher goes to the free throw line. But you almost, if you're Pottsville, and you talked about it as well, Jim Thorpe is not a strong free throw shooting team. Now Fisher does hit both free throws.
Jim Thorpe's showing a little bit of token pressure here.
And a reach in. They're going to get Werner. And that is going to be his second foul. Here is DeCello. Now with it is Fenstermacher. No good. Rebound by Jasper DeSanto. As you can maybe see, Heron with his nose right now plugged up. He had a bloody nose earlier in the game. Reach-in foul.
They really got to get him going here. He's got to get back into the game here, back into the rhythm, man. If he gets that post up on DeCello, he's got a size advantage, and he knows how to play in that mid-range post type of game.
I mean, it's a 15-point difference. Into the corner. Here's Richards. Richards off the glass, rolls in. David Richards with 5 points.
Like I said, there's a quick little 4-0 run.
Ooh. And I think there might have been, Warner might have still been moving his feet there, Ryan.
Yeah, I like the intent though. Coming off the bench, trying to get a spark. An offensive foul really can really gets the fans into it and really gets your team excited as you're down on the floor, teammates helping you up.
Pottsville still with a very comfortable lead. Ball is loose, and a timeout taken by head coach Jake Wartella. 30-second timeout.
Very close to being a walk there as Fenstermacher rolled over when he was trying to call the timeout.
I will say this, and the officials tonight, Rodney Strobel, Mike Klamara, and Steve Sorenzitz, they are at least allowing the coaches have been able to express some frustration, but we have seen some foul calls here being made now. So, but Coach Wartella there just wanting to get his team back to where they have been throughout most of this game, because that could have been, like you said, a turnover situation.
Yeah, save the possession here, and we'll see how many points they get out of it. Both these teams are very senior-driven, so they're both going to play their hearts out for this rest of this game here.
Sakina with the rebound here by Fisher. Fisher now up and over, off the backboard and good. Well, 32-21. Now an 11-point game.
Oh, boy.
Off the hands of Yost. Can the Olympians make it count? No, they do not. Rebound by Sakina.
I think that right there, you don't see Heron do that too often. That's just a little bit of him not being in the game as much because of his nose bleeding.
And that foul call is going to go against Andrew Warner, and that's already his fourth foul. And right now it seems like McAboyle is going to keep him out there. Interesting, DeCello, who's a solid free throw shooter, very unlike him.
Yeah, that's big for how this game's going to go. I mean, it's free possessions, 3 points here.
So back to a 12-point advantage. And I think for Jim Thorpe, they got to be thinking, let's get it to single digits entering the fourth quarter, because then they feel like they have a chance.
Absolutely.
Here's DeSanto. Over to Heron. Heron out to the corner. Richards.
Oh.
In and out, no good. Outstanding timing on that jump there by Matlock. Almost a takeaway. Yost out to the corner. Here is Sakina. And one!
Big bucket right there from Sakina. Oh, man. Thought he was going to shoot it.
Sakina's feeling that momentum right now. 35-21. And Sakina to the free throw line.
Thought that three was going to fall from Richards down there. That would have made it an 8-point game, but instead, 15.
So 5 points for Sakina tonight.
5 big ones, though.
Sometimes you don't need to be the leading scorer. Sometimes your points. I mean, how many times you see basketball games over there? Someone may have 2 points, but that 2-point shot may be the biggest shot of the night. Full timeout.
You could just feel like a deflation come out of this atmosphere as,
Yes.
that went in and that ball went in the bucket and the foul was called. You could just kind of feel some shoulders go down. And it's a weird feeling, but it's definitely there.
Well, I think, too, is for Jim Thorpe, with the timeout once again taken, they're thinking, okay, once they got it within 11, they're thinking maybe that momentum is coming. But then Heron gets the jumper, and it hits. Sakina gets the rebound, and then everything takes place here on this side of the court. But right now, you look at head coach Jason McElmoyle. This has got to be, it may have to be the halftime speech here late in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's probably drawing up some sort of play here for Fisher or Heron, trying to get them open here for an easy look, either an easy bucket or an open 3 look. So if you get this down to 11 or so before the end of here, you still got a shot. It's a nice view of the Pottsville Crimson Tide faithful.
That's literally all students, folks, eating up your screen right now. They have been loud, they have been energetic, but even on the other side, the Jim Thorpe faithful have been fantastic as well.
Yeah, they not too many times. It's only the 5th time that a girls and boys team has both made it to the final in the same year.
Look for 3. Good by Richards.
Big shot there from Richards. He's having a nice third quarter here.
And he now has 8 points all alone here in this quarter. It's a 12-point game. Here's DeCello. Remember, Warner has 4 fouls. Ooh. Reach-in foul there by Fisher. I think there's been more reach-in fouls I've seen in this game than I've seen at any other point.
Trust me, both these teams really like to play a very up-in-your-face and very hand-checky type of style of play, and that's why their defensive stats are so good. They both give up in the low 40s per game, but it depends on what kind of officiating you get, if that's going to be called or not.
Here is Fenstermacher. Misses. Ball's loose. Picked back up by Fenstermacher.
Save the possession, see if they make it work as Fisher gets
Ball
back
still
in.
loose. Look at this. Now picked up here by McHugh.
Extra possessions are going to be key here.
And it's going to be a defensive foul.
I think that was the right call. DeCello, it seemed like if Heron got one more step before DeCello took the charge attempt there, but he was falling down and kind of took Heron down with him.
Third personal foul. And you got to think, if you're Jim Thorpe, you've got to get a basket here.
Yeah, cut it to a 10-point game here with a little bit of momentum.
Unbelievable. And now with travel, was unsure of why inbounding with that when you actually had Darryl Fisher at the top of the key. All you had to do was get a stronger inbound.
Yeah, you could hear Coach Wartell as soon as they lined up in that formation. He said, Rafe lob, and that was the play call. It was a lob for Heron, and they played it well, but it's a tic-tac call. I thought it could have went either way.
Here is Yost. Yost, who's had a big night, puts it up. Not good. Over into the corner. Sakina for 3. Nothing there. DeCello over to Sakina. Layup up. Good! He got it alone! And she won! Mike Sakina.
Wow, right before the buzzer too. Ooh, that replay shows an interesting angle there. Wow. As I said, though, Sakina's this will be his attempt for his 8th point in this quarter, and they've been 8 huge points. They've come at like very interesting opportunities for them. There it goes, right through.
And that'll be a 39-24 lead into the final quarter of play here in Pottsville. The Crimson Tide rolling as they lead by 15 over the Thorpe Olympians. We'll be back for the final quarter of play here on D11 Sports.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
Back here inside Martz Hall, alongside Ryan Caulfield, Mike Ventola with you. Of course, our student reporters, Casey and Jacob, as they will be with us post-game, as they will get the opportunity to interview the winning coach and player. All right, it's the final quarter of play, and for Jim Thorpe, they have a long way to go, but for Pottsville, 8 minutes away. If they hold on, there they are. League champions once again.
Yep, do or die mode here for Thorpe. They got to get hot and force a couple of turnovers.
Pull-up jumper, missed there. And the ball is loose, picked up by none other than Mike Sakina. My goodness, even though Taryn Yost has had all the points for Pottsville, but Mike Sakina, you can argue, has been the player in this second half for them so far.
Absolutely. He's playing like a different man this second half. And he was very quiet in the first half, missed a couple of shots, really kind of played calm, and he had the big guys on him, and now he's drawn himself out and pump faked a lot and got into the hole.
So Sakina, with 8 points, makes it 9.
Sakina, you can see he wears a left knee brace a little bit. He's had some injuries in the past in the last 2 years with that knee, but really gets his chance to shine here this year on the home floor in his senior year.
Now Daryl Fisher brings it up, 41-24. His shot gets deflected hard to the ground. Goes Rosahack. And that foul's going to be on Yost.
Only a 4th team foul there for Pottsville in the second half, while Jim Thorpe has committed 9, so Pottsville will be shooting 2 the rest of the ball game if they fouled, which is a very big aspect, because even if Jim Thorpe goes and has a lot of aggression on the defensive end, even as they start fouling, as we see here, it's going to be 2 shots here for Fenstermacher.
And another foul. Foul there committed by Noah Rosahack. That's going to be his 2nd, team 10th. So as you mentioned, Ryan Fenstermacher to the free throw line, but Yost, remember, with 4 fouls, he has taken a seat. Missing there is Fenstermacher.
In my mind, I was about to say that they've only missed 1 free throw so far, but I didn't say. I didn't curse them I didn't curse them, but I think my mind did instead.
Look, it happens. There's something called the broadcaster jinx, Ryan.
Absolutely.
You can ask Tony Romo. There's a foul there, and they're going to call that on Sakina. His 2nd. Pull up is McHugh. Way too strong. Rosack is there off the glass. Doesn't go in. Picked up here by Fenstermacher.
They needed a couple of those to fall today. Their big guys have gotten some good opportunities around the rim. Fenstermacher goes hard to the hole.
And he is going to go to the free throw line, and that's, if you're Pottsville, why not? Because like you said, Jim Thorpe, every time a foul is, to the line they go.
Yep, not a bad idea.
Hits the first. Miss there. McHugh comes down with it. Here is Fisher. Fisher up high off the glass. Miss there. Haight was there.
Fisher's down hard.
And you can tell he is hurt. He fell awkwardly. Werner's going to come back in. And right now, it does not look good there for Darryl Fisher. Not sure if he maybe cramped up or...
Looks like it's a leg injury for sure.
Yeah, he's limping. Could have landed a little awkwardly. He's okay. But now Andrew Warner is in the game. Remember, Warner's been sitting with 4 fouls.
Fisher's getting ready, right back to check right in, though. He's going to play his heart out. I love the way that kid plays. Last 2 years, got to play against him now. I've got to see him play from afar, and just a fierce competitor. Also a very good football player.
Here is Fenstermacher. Gets a lane, kicks it out. Wide open 3. Missed there by Chavinsky. Here's Werner. Kicking over to Richards. Here's McHugh. Fade away. Misses there. Haight tried to get the rebound. And an aggressive foul.
A little extracurricular activity here.
Oh, yes. Haight now is going to have to step off to the sideline. Sakina will head to the free throw line.
The 2 shots here for Sakina at the line.
So they actually have to bring Haight back in. And then it looked like Fisher will substitute for him. Sakina hits the free throw. Yost checks back in for Pottsville.
Just been one of those kind of nights here for Jim Thorpe.
Now a 20-point lead for the Crimson Tide. 21.
Have to think a little bit of the inexperience here in this kind of atmosphere has played a little bit into this game.
Wide, look for 3 and good. And finally for Darryl Fisher, he's able to get that 3-point play. And it'll still be here for Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, just forced a little turnover there. Hit another one of these, and it makes it a little bit more interesting than it was before.
Well, if they can hit here, going to try again. Off the rim, no good. Give there, shot for 3, too strong. And a foul that's going to stay on this side of the floor. Going to call that on Fenstermacher. That's his 4th foul. And now checking in is Chavinsky.
Another possession here for Thorpe as they just give it right away.
Ooh. Double dribble. And we have seen some fouls, a little bit of sloppiness on both sides of the basketball.
2 straight turnovers there for the Tide. You don't see that very often at all for them.
There's Rozak as he's back into the game. Jumper, miss there. And it'll go back to Pottsville basketball. High pass. Here is Sakina. He's been so good here in this second half. Over to Yost.
See how Pottsville likes to play this.
Andrew Werner comes back in.
Be interesting to see if Pottsville, if Jim Thorpe really tries to double them and pressure them, if Pottsville looks for the opening, or if they hold it out for a little bit here and try and milk some clock.
I think if you're Pottsville, you would want to try to get the clock going a little bit. But Yost got a lane, and my goodness, makes it look good. Up high, and drains it is Heron.
That's the type of things we highlighted early on. His mid-range game, he's had a struggle today. Everything's been kind of going against him, whether it was his nose bleeding or some tough shots not rolling. And even looks like he has a little black eye.
Yeah, just 6 points. Yost, on the other hand, has been very good. 16 points. Good give inside. Knock it away by DeCello. A little over 4 minutes to go. You see the score, Pottsville up 47-29 on Jim Thorpe. Sakina for three. Yost tips it out. DeCello would rather give it to Matlock, and now back into the corner here, midcourt for Yost.
He plays so much bigger than his size.
I mean, he's listed at 5'8", but at times he plays like he's 6'8". And a foul. And they're going to charge that to Caden Heron. And that's going to be his third. Yost to the free throw line.
Pottsville's really learned how to play without Carabello Snow here. I think Jim Thorpe was either their first or second game playing without him, so still trying to get used to it, but now they've had a couple of more games and a couple weeks of practice to try and get ready for this game.
And he was a big miss. One of Pottsville's stronger offensive players. Foul by Sakina, and it just seems like both teams almost playing a little too aggressive. Fouls now on both ends of the floor. Heron hits the free throw.
Heron's only a junior as well. Very good ball player. He'll be somebody to definitely key on next year in the Schuylkill League.
Timeout taken by Coach McElmoyle. Folks, a reminder, after the game goes final, we will have the trophy presentation as well as have the winning coach and winning player. And it appears to me that would be Jake Wartella, and most likely either Darren Yost or Mike Sakina. It'd be interesting to see who ends up as the player of the game, but unless a complete collapse by Pottsville, Ryan, the Crimson Tide are going to be able to secure a Schuylkill League championship here on their home floor.
Yeah, definitely. It's not only do they get the Schuylkill League championship, but also it puts them as a, I believe, depending on what happens in the Southern Lehigh Wilson game, Pottsville will automatically be eating that one seed talk. I'm not sure what will happen if Pottsville and Southern Lehigh they both win their league. I'm not sure what will happen, but for right now, in our case, for what we know, Pottsville will be the one seed in District 11 5A.
And the thing about it too is Jim Thorpe still qualifies for districts, so their season does not end here.
They'll have a tough go, though, with them. I believe they have Allentown Central Catholic and Bethlehem Catholic in their section.
Yep.
No easy task there.
No. As Yost will go to the free throw line. Foul was committed by Colby McHugh.
Yep, Pottsville will be looking ahead. If they're the 1 seed, they'll get the winner of a pigtail game between Bangor and Blue Mountain. So that'll be another game between Pottsville and Blue Mountain, possibly.
Tell you, I saw Blue Mountain Pottsville played back in January at Blue Mountain. It was an exciting game. Blue Mountain played very well in the first half, but then Pottsville eventually just did what Pottsville was capable of doing. That could be a fun rematch.
And then Bangor's the reigning 5A champs, too, so don't ever count them out of anything. And then Southern Lehigh as well. Despite having a new coach this year, they're a huge team size-wise.
Takeaway by Heron. Heron up. Doesn't fall in. Here is Yost. Yost. Good. Try to go with a give behind the back. And now Heron comes up with it.
Very up and down street ball like right now at the end of this ball game.
Werner misses. Yost trying to go coast to coast. There was a simple slip.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit from last time down the floor. There were bodies all over the floor, so it's a bit slippery underneath there.
And that is going to be a foul by Colby McHugh. That's his third. Yost now to the free throw line.
A lot of hands on hips and hands on knees here. It's been a very long and intense game for both these teams, and they're both leaving all their hearts out on the floor.
No, they certainly are, and it's going to be frustrating for Jim Thorpe, but they will be able to continue on. Fade away, short. Yost up to DeCello. DeCello gets around Heron. And now it looks like Jason McElmoyle is going to empty his bench.
I think Pottsville's going to do the same. Some mutual respect here from both teams. Get some of these younger guys the opportunity to just be able to play on this floor in this intense game.
Jump there by Werner's good. So Warner gets 2 points. And I think, for the final minute or so, that is taken away here by Heron. Now a foul. And now come the mass substitutions. Pottsville gets a nice hand. Yep. And the Crimson Tide, they are loving what they are seeing. So TJ Allen is in for Pottsville along with Latrell Montone. Amari Bainbridge. Tyler Chappell in for Jim Thorpe. You have Dominic Berger, Matthew Craigie, Jasper DeSanto, and Wyatt Selby. Heron made the first free throw. Makes his second.
Nothing for Jim Thorpe to hang their heads about here, though. Just the fact that made it to this championship game, they had to get through a tough Shenandoah Valley opponent and a tough second half of their schedule to make it here. They won 9 of their last 10 to get here, and it's a really great league season for them.
Miss there. And you bring up a good point. They have nothing to be ashamed of, though, yes, you get disappointed that you're not going to win a league championship, but you're in districts. You got a chance to compete. I know you talked about how it's going to be a tough road for them, but they continue to play. They'll play on after tonight. So
they'll definitely make some noise in that tournament. I don't think too many teams, a lot of times the Schuylkill League kind of gets looked down upon by some of the Allentown and Lehigh Valley type teams. And Jim Thorpe's a tough opponent. They got a lot of size, a lot of speed, and especially for a team that doesn't get to play them 3 times in a season as Pottsville has. They have them scouted out pretty good, as we could see in this game.
Here's DeSanto, and I think you saw a cold shooting Olympians team. And if it's a team that can get hot, score some points. Good 3 there. Dominic Berger, the junior. Under a minute remaining. 52-38. And Pottsville, they're going to want to try to hold this as much as they can here. Jake Wartella calling off his remaining subs. And it looks like for Jason McElmoyle, telling his team don't bother. Well, for the Pottsville Crimson Tide, they continue to claim Marts Hall as their own in Schuylkill League play, as they are Schuylkill League champions, as they defeat Jim Thorpe by a score of 52-38 and claim another Schuylkill League championship.
Yep. Put everything together, did Pottsville this time around. They really played a very hard-fought, strong ball game to their advantage. They used the home crowd, the home floor, and just really played their style of game. And Jim Thorpe, unfortunately, ran into a buzzsaw here in the league championship, as many teams have found before in these league semifinals and finals of the Schuylkill League.
So there will be the trophy presentation for the winning Pottsville Crimson Tide. Jim Thorpe will also receive medals as well. But the Olympians will receive their second place medals first. And we will hear from head coach Jake Wartella and as well as Darren Yost. He is the player of the game. Jake Wartella as the coach of the game.
I'm pretty sure Yost has been the D11 Sports player of the game about 3 or 4 times. He really likes to show up when the camera's on, it seems like. He's done multiple Blue Mountain Pottsville games and some Schuylkill League games, and Yost always seems to show up.
Well, you know, you said it earlier, despite being just, you know, on the shorter side, but he plays a lot taller than he is. Actually, he's 5'8", but my goodness, does he play like he's a forward than at times is as a guard. So right now, the public address announcer Bob Umbenhauer is calling out each player's name for the Olympians, and then the same we'll have for the Crimson Tide. But for the home crowd, enjoying this. But for Jim Thorpe, as we now are ready for our interview here with Jake Wartella, we'll send on down our reporters.
We're here with winning head coach Jake Wartella, Pottsville. How does it feel to win the championship? You're a second-year head coach. You weren't quite able to win it last year, and this year you got it done.
Yeah, I'm just so excited for our kids. They put in so much hard work. I'm so proud of our senior class and our team in general. It took a great team effort, and our kids executed real well.
Was there a lot of pressure playing the hottest team in the league on your home court?
Yeah, I mean, they just beat us last week. As you mentioned, they're the hottest team. Our kids had a chip on their shoulder. They had a great practice yesterday, and they executed the game plan really well.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
All right, that was head coach Jake Wartella, and Darren Yost will be joining us here in just a few moments. But that's something to be said. You lose to this team a week ago, and then you're able to come back, get some retribution, do it on your home court. Feels good.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely had that chip on their shoulder. As Coach Wartella said, they weren't really expecting that, I don't think, going up to Jim Thorpe. I mean, it's a very tough place to play. It's a little bit out of the area for what, as the Tide get announced, it's a little bit of a far drive for most teams, about an hour here from Pottsville, and going up there. They have a 7:30 late start for every game, and you're up there till like 9:30 at night, and I don't think they were expected to go in there and lose that ball game, and this really kind of humbled them, and they came out here and wanted to win this one bad on their home floor.
And as much as this being the home court, their arena, but some coming into today thinking the hot team in Jim Thorpe might have been the favorite in some fans' eyes, but there are people who know Pottsville well and know that they shine their best here on the big stage, because behind Pottsville, where you see them standing, there is a huge sign that says how many Schuylkill League championships they won. Right, you know that all too well.
Absolutely, I do. I think you could throw any team here in not only the league, the district or state, and Pottsville will play their heart out and try and defend this home court. It's a lot of times people say, like in March Madness for college teams, some teams play well in March Madness, and Pottsville just seems to always play well in mid-February around Valentine's Day on their home court for the Schuylkill League. The stats don't lie. You don't have to even watch any of the games to know that Pottsville is a dynasty here in the Schuylkill League.
They certainly are, and they are going to be tough to deal with in the district playoffs. Colonial League championship action was taking place as well tonight. D11 Sports had that action. You'll be able to see the final results of those.
Very big district implications from that game as well, so it'd be nice to see. It was interesting. Wilson made their way to the final. Kind of caught Notre Dame Green Pond off guard, seemed like.
Always the most entertaining moment is when the winning team gets to hoist the championship trophy, as they do there. That is what they look forward to most. And they'll be able to take their picture in front of the Schuylkill League championship banner. And we promise you, folks, we are going to hear from the player of the game in Darren Yost. But, of course, we want to make sure that they get the opportunity to celebrate. Now it looks like some fans are even coming onto the court as well, too.
Oh, yeah. Pottsville faithful, they'll, of course, be loving to greet their teammates, classmates. You yourself, Pottsville, winning is expected here. It's almost like you look at prominent sports franchises. Pottsville, they expect to win the Schuylkill League championship each year. Somehow, some way, they just find a way to reload. I mean, they've had some great teams here in the past couple of years. They lost 2,000-point scorers 2 years ago in Mason Barnes and Kevin Schenk, and last year they made it to the league final, and 2 years after they win the league championship. It's a common occurrence here. They play their style of basketball, and they use that, and teams they could try and figure it out as much as they want, but it's very hard to execute against a team that's so disciplined like them.
Well, it certainly is. So some pictures being taken. You see Darren Yost front and center. Front and center. Does that surprise you?
Nope, him and Gisela front and center. They deserve it. They've been two cornerstones of this program for the past 4 years, and it's a great way for them to top it off with a Schuylkill League championship.
Now, Jake Wartella, not to say there might have been a little bit of a monkey on his back, but to get that first Schuylkill League championship, obviously, he'd be the first one to have the utmost respect for Dave Mulaney, who was, not that I have to tell you, but for viewers at home who are a little unfamiliar with Pottsville's history, when you talk about head coaches in Schuylkill League play, one of the greatest of all time. And it looks like now we are ready for Yost. Let's head on down to our student reporters.
Player of the game, Darren Yost, who scored 18 points. How does it feel to be player of the game?
It feels amazing. Ever since our loss last year, we've been looking forward to this every game, so to go out and get it done feels really good.
How does it feel to be the 2022 Schuylkill League champions?
It just feels amazing. Me and my guys have been working for this since we were juniors, so to go out there and finally get it done, our goal that we've been looking forward to since last year, it just means a lot to us.
Thanks, Darren. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Great job by our student reporters tonight. Ryan, pleasure working with you, my friend. You did an outstanding job. You and your mom have a future in the broadcasting business.
It's fun to be here. I mean, I love taking in this nice Cole Region basketball and really gives me a nice feeling inside, getting to see a crowd this large back in and watching some great basketball on the floor.
Well, that's going to do it here from Martz Hall in Pottsville. The Crimson Tide, they defeat the Olympians of Jim Thorpe 52-38. Have a great rest of your evening, and thank you so much for tuning in to Schuylkill League Championship Basketball right here on D11 Sports.